What's up, Meisterville? Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Podcast. This is episode 17, and we are here with Mr. Crazy8 the Great. How are you doing,
Yes,
sir?
sir. I'm here, man. I'm glad to be here, man. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Ah, man, I've been a fan of you for a minute. Ever like I messaged you about it. I think it was that freestyle you did on the Run the Jewels beat. That
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
ooh la
yeah.
la. Yeah,
Ooh la la, yeah.
that was fire, man. Yeah. I
Thank you. Thank you.
I was trying to tag Run the Jewels. Maybe they add you as a third member.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, man. Nah, that was fun. And I was bumping animated today. Like that joint was
Thank you.
hard. That joint was
Thank you.
hard.
Thank you. That is
Nah, man.
my life's work.
Hey, dude, I actually wanted to talk to you about that, man, because
Okay.
you go through a lot of themes on that. Is it an EP? Is it an album?
Um, iTunes made me call it an album. It's an EP though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they changed the rules on what an EP is. Like, for a while, an EP was like anything 30 minutes or less.
Mm,
Now, they're saying an EP is only six or less songs. So they're not even going with runtime. They're going with how many songs you have on that project. So since I have 8 songs, they calling it an album. It's an EP though.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, because I also did an EP as well of about 10 tracks, or I call it an EP, but some
Yeah,
people
you see
say
what
it's
I
a yeah, people call it an album, so I'm not even sure. I don't even know what the rules are anymore. Like I leave that to other
blame
people.
Kanye. You gotta blame Kanye. Once Kanye started doing short rap albums, he changed the culture.
Yeah, because I mean, even Black Thought did 215 with no, was it 215? No, Streams of Thought. Why am I calling it 215?
Yeah,
215 was one of the songs. Yeah, he did Streams of Thought with Ninth Wonder. So that was like five
right.
songs, but they called it an album. So I don't even know what the rules are anymore.
Yeah,
You just make the music. I think like I actually wanted to
exactly.
talk to you about that as an artist because sometimes I feel
Okay.
like there's like rules and things. Well, not even rules, but like some people will say this guy is dope because he does this, or this guy is dope because he does that, and whatever. And then
Right.
you as an artist, you're like for me, I love punchlines. I love like wordplay and all of that stuff. So when I
Right.
do it, some people will be like, "That's cool, but it's kind of average." And in my head, I'm like, "Dude, do you even know what I just said when I put this together?" But that's like an ego thing. So I mean, what's your thoughts
Right.
on that actually before we get into animated?
Um, I want to say like I'm more. I feel unappreciated at a lot of times just because of how layered I am with music and writing. Um, I like my style now. Like I write in entendre, so everything that I do has at least two, three meanings, and usually people catch the surface one, and I'd be like, "But there's another one under there. Please catch that one too." Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it'd be wild, man.
Yeah, no, I feel that way sometimes because I did a track superhero rhymer, right? And it was just
Okay.
basically yeah, it was basically me just going off about this character I created and throwing cartoon samples and everything. And one of the
Yeah, that's dope.
lines, yeah, and one of the lines that I love because yeah, Cartoon Network samples and Disney samples and all of that stuff all over the place.
Okay.
And one of the things that I said was like smooth flow in need of photosynthesis, in need of genius to comprehend his thesis, kids. So this guy was like, man, that's kind of an average bar. And I was like, flower, flower, photosynthesis.
Right.
I was like, that's what that mean. Like, you know, if you just look a little bit.
Yeah, but see, the
Yeah.
thing is, like, what I learned over time, man, is there are those out there that will catch it, and that's who you made it for. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, even though it don't get their event like to them right away, when it gets to them, they appreciate it so much more, man. I done got hugs from grown men from lines after they caught them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you just, oh my god, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, somebody appreciated it.
Yeah, man,
So, you know what I'm saying?
That Beerus line that you had was hard. It
Thank
was one of
you.
my favorite lines. I caught
Thank
that
you.
immediately. I was like, stank face. Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how did animated come about? Like what was the
Um,
idea?
so animated answers the question, what would my life look like and or sound like if it were an anime? Um, And then I went and because honestly, the song Ultra Instinct, it came out 2 years prior to me putting this album out. It's officially the first single of the album. It's the album that made people go, "Yo, is this on an album? Is this on a project? Where is this? Like, is there more where this came from?" And it's like, okay, I guess so. You know, me and my best friend Tino, who is my producer and engineer, he produced 5 out of the 8 tracks on the album, including Ultra Instinct. We work closely on just about everything. So
y'all mug that joint.
So I sat back and was like, Tino, the people have spoken. I think we got to give them a project. So that's how we started there. We got started, man. And honestly, the following beat after Ultra Instinct was Theodore. And when he made that, I was like, yeah, I see what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? So the album kind of, although I had an overall theme in my mind, the album was pieced together piece by piece. It's like one of the only projects I've ever done that came in waves. Like normally I have the entire concept down pat. I know exactly which beats I'm using. I know what stories I want to tell. I know what rhymes I want to use to that degree. This album happened to me as I was making it. So it's kind of dope.
Wow, I like that a lot. So what I also noticed through the EP slash album, we'll call it both things. What I noticed,
Right.
what I noticed through it is that you kind of had this whole, I want to say like a shonen mentality, but you basically had that whole thing of like, you know, fighting through struggles and through
Right.
pain and getting through the things that you're suffering through. So is that informed by like past childhood stories? Is that informed by past
Yeah.
childhood experiences?
The entire album, man, or just like the themes of everything. Like you said, it's super shonen because, of course, I grew up on shonen anime. You know, Dragon Ball being my introduction and things like that. But then, of course, you grow to love all these different other anime with shonen protagonists and stuff like that. And what I like to say is like, most nerdcore rappers, not even most, but you got nerdcore rappers that are really good at embodying a character and doing a tribute in that style. Like my bro Hieroglyphics is
Yeah.
probably the king of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll get the details and he'll be able to spit that character, you know what I'm saying, to a T, and it's perfect. My style is more so being able to take characteristics or attributes or moments out of anime that directly correlate with my actual life. And that's how I put them stories together. So it's like, when I'm an anti-bully activist, so I survived being bullied, almost lost my life to being bullied. A kid almost murdered me in the 2nd grade. So surviving that made that kind of the mission for the music, to let people know like you can survive this. There is life after that. You can rebuild. You can get your bearings about you. You can get your confidence back. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can live after this, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I almost was not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the music has to reflect that triumph always, because somebody out there is listening, is going through everything that I went through or worse, and they have nobody to express that to, or they have no success stories. They think this the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are so many suicide cases due to bullying, and now even cyberbullying, which is wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much going on with that. So when I put out the music, it's like, yo, I was you. I was just there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't give up. Don't think it's the end. Don't think you're by yourself. Don't think you don't have a voice. Look at me. I did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can do it too. So that's why those themes are reoccurring in all my music.
You weren't in grade 2. You were in Fight Club. What grade 2-year-old? It's a Mortal Kombat tournament.
Yeah. So what happened is the guy actually was my best friend at the time. The bullies were starting to bully him, and basically they said, if you don't want us to do to you what we do to him, you'll do this, right? You know what I'm saying? And instead of us like doing this, epic team up of best friends fighting the, what I'm saying, the bullies and shit like that, he chose self-preservation, you know what I'm saying? He
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, well, better him than me, like, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to stab me to death with a #2 pencil. And almost succeeded. Almost succeeded. But
These guys are Shang Tsung, basically. What the hell? We now open a tournament of Mortal Kombat. Survivor must kill the loser. What the hell? Did he hear finisher music?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I used to get picked on as well a lot, especially for my interests. That was the thing. And I was a tiny dude, so like fighting for me, it wasn't in my head to fight. Like I started roasting, which made things worse. So
I don't know, but like over time you get them these become like your defense mechanisms. It's like I was the scrawniest kid in my grade. Like, you know what I'm saying? The smallest, I was the nerdiest. So dudes that were known for fighting or whatever would think I'm a pushover. But the thing was, I was sharp with the tongue though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I remember beating my bully's ass in like 6th grade with just words, to the point where the whole entire school, not even the school, but the class, our whole entire class was just like laughing him out the building. And I just like kept going to the point where somebody was like, all right, he's had enough. Let him go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
no, it's like, because even if you beat my ass, we still know.
Right,
you can't win now. You can't win now. Yeah, that was my thing. That was my thing, definitely. I mean, I've only had a couple of fights, lost most of them because I'm not I don't have it in me to hurt people like that. Like I don't have it in me to swing. Like if I have to swing on you, it's kind of like a Gohan situation with Cell, where Cell pushed Gohan to the point where Gohan couldn't do nothing else. So you gotta like really force me into a corner to want to get things to a physical level. I'm not a physical person like that. So,
right.
I mean, speaking of Dragon Ball, that's kind of why Gohan was my favorite character, because he never wanted to fight unless he had to. And I think a lot of people get Gohan's character wrong because they think he doesn't like fighting. I think he likes protecting the people he has to protect, type of thing. That's why we got Saiyan. You know, it's like Saiyan is a great, like, I know people laugh at Saiyan. I know people are always like,
oh yeah, you already know.
But I mean, the fact that he became a superhero it embodies what his character is. He's not Goku where he loves fighting, but he's going to protect his family and the people of Earth and all of that stuff. So I think when people say Gohan doesn't train or Gohan doesn't fight like that, I think they're getting it wrong. And I think the writers of like Dragon Ball got that wrong as well, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, over the time they, because Gohan was set up to take over the franchise, and then and then the Buu saga happened,
and then they did the same. Is it genetic with Saiyans? Like Saiyans make me mad. The only Saiyan, and they still ruined him in Super. I don't know if you're a fan of Super. I'm not. People know this.
I can't call myself a fan, but just being a Dragon Ball fan, I endured it anyway.
like Denzel in Glory with the whip.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it had its moments, but it also had its, its
clusters. Like with Trunks is the only Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z that I could trust. If he was ever the protagonist of Dragon Ball Z, the Earth would be safe, because he's the only dude that don't waste time. As soon as he landed to fight Frieza, 5 episodes in, Dragon Ball Z fans couldn't believe this. We were like, in 5 episodes? What? He was like, yeah, he just came next. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, let's actually getting back to what we were talking about originally. Yeah, I'm not a physical person like that. I don't like like personally, it's like physicality to me is one of just the weakest things, especially if that's not your profession. If you're always wanting to get physical, I feel like you don't have the faculties to resolve a situation, which is why like all of those abuse stories of man putting their hands on anybody weaker than them, not even just a woman per se, but just like, you
Right.
know, anybody that you know you can beat in a fight, you putting your hands on them, that's weakness in my eyes. Because I'm just like, you know,
Facts.
you can win. Like, don't make yourself big because you know you can win, type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, man, I can't stand a bully, man, and I dealt with my fair share of them, and no, I just make sure that anybody else that's encountering them has the strength to either face them or, you know what I'm saying, and make it past that stage in their life, because until you like in self find the courage and the strength to overcome that situation, you'll always find yourself in that situation. So I'm just hoping somebody turns on one of my records and they've had enough, like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, like one of
and
my favorite tracks was Take My Hand. That was a strong
yeah,
closer. Cause the way it starts, like it starts so like I'm thinking it was gonna be something else, and then you just flip it, and then the sample just drops in from what from what's this My Hero Academia, and I was like,
yeah.
oh snap, okay, this is wow. Because I did not expect that. That was so like the EP album has so many like shifts and changes, even from the way you started with like what
Thank
like with that pain sample. I was just like, oh
you.
my gosh, that was just so nice, man. That was just so nice. But we got to talk about the biggest track on the EP. I don't know if it is the biggest to you, but according to the response, Cosplay Angels, man, how did that come along? Because I love that song a lot. It's my second favorite on the EP. My first being that
All right,
The Ultra Instinct
there we
Goku
go.
thing. That just goes hard for me. I will bump that all the time. That just goes hard. But Cosplay Angels is a close second. So how did that
Yeah.
song come together?
Cosplay Angel was actually the last song we added to the album. I
Hmm.
thought I was pretty much set and done. And then my one of my friends, Forrest Green, who produced that track, he sent me back some of the samples I sent him, and that was the first beat he sent me. And I was like, oh, I didn't know the album was missing this. Well, it's going here now. You know what I'm saying? And then I was still able to fit it within the story that the album tells. Because basically following Big Man on campus, it's like after you got your confidence back, now it's like you got enough confidence to go get that lady you like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that situation. But I also wanted it to center it in the scene or the setting that, you know, most of us want to be in, like, you know, back to doing conventions and things like that. So why not make this song about finding the girl of your dreams, quote unquote, at a convention? You know what I'm saying? For us being nerds for rappers,
Yeah,
nerds
I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. Like I'm wanting to meet a cosplay girl. You know? Yeah, man,
yeah,
that was.
man. And
I
they
really love that track. I really love that track, man.
thank you,
And I
man.
didn't even know. I didn't even know that it was like it fits so well, like the placement of it and everything.
Yeah.
So just walk me through your process, just a little bit of when you making tracks. Like,
Okay.
do you find the samples yourself and send them to your producers, or do your producers
Yeah.
find the samples? Oh,
So
okay, okay.
basically, I always, like I said, I'm so meticulous when it comes to making music. So I have like the vision of everything that I want. So when it came to this album, I knew exactly which samples I wanted to do, and then certain samples I just knew who to send them to because I knew who performed the best and do things like that. So I actually sent Forrest Green like 3 or 4 different samples. I sent them 2 Samurai Champloo samples, a Mob Psycho 100 sample, and a couple of other ones. And he sent back the first Champloo joint, and I was like, yeah, I need to look no more. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? And it's like one of the most iconic themes in anime, like, you know what I'm saying? So because, you know, Champloo already had a hip hop fusion soundtrack to begin
Yeah,
with.
was it the new
So,
jobs or something like that? The
yeah.
new jobs.
So
So
to take that and be able to bring even more nuance to it, but still keep the, you know what I'm saying, the anime flavor to it, man. It was just a slam dunk for real. And like I expected the song to take off, but I didn't expect it to take off as fast as it did. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking we'd be at this point maybe this time next year or
mm,
like summertime next year. Nah, it was like summertime this year. Like, we got to do it this year. So the cosplay community has been really, really accepting of me, like really supportive. I've had, you know, big name cosplayers and even some of the lower level ones that are just getting started. Like, it's a song for them, honestly. And they've really taken to it, embraced it. The challenge is doing good on first TikTok and Instagram, and I get new submissions like every day and stuff like that. So it's like everything that I wanted it to do is really paying off, and I'm so proud of that song, man.
Hey man, yeah. I think it even works for non-cosplay girls. I
Mm-hmm.
think like I think like you could bump that and you know you could get something going. You know what I'm saying? Because like one thing I like about the song is like you swagging, but you're not, you know, you're not being that thirsty dude. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Right.
know there's those dudes who approach and they like, hey, I used to be one, like, you know, until I grew up. I'm saying, you know, you like, hey, baby. It's like she doesn't want to talk to you, but you just like you're not registering in your head that she doesn't want to talk to you. You know those dudes. Hey queen, hey ma'am, hey queen. They be following her all the way. And the worst part is like for me, I once got on a bus to talk to a chick that didn't want to talk to me, and I ended up traveling like 6 kilometers, like 6 miles. What is it? Okay, we use kilometers here, but like I
Yeah, it would
traveled
have been
far.
miles here.
Yeah, I would have followed. Like, I went so far in the wrong direction. I actually had to take like 2 cabs to get back to my house, and that was the last
Wow.
time I decided to chase a chick ever again because I was just like, you see. Now you're broke. Now you're sad. I was roasting myself in the mirror, little broke ass boy.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's
So
wild, bro.
yeah, no, it was. I was dumb. I was dumb. I was dumb. Like I look back at myself and like you know sometimes just want a time machine just to go slap yourself and just be like, what are you doing, you idiot?
I mean, you was trying to go for what you wanted, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that what I love about that song is that like you spit in game, but you not being thirsty, which is something that dudes need to learn. Like a lot of these dudes will look at cosplay chicks and like, oh, she's just using her body with it. It's like, first off, you sound like an incel, so get out of my face with that. And
Right.
second of all, it's not her fault that she beautiful. Like that's just the way that it is. Some of us are tall, so you need to find your thing. Like hating on people for
Right.
their things, like I'm sorry,
Yeah, man.
you whack to me.
I've had some interesting conversations with some of the cosplayers in the process of putting the challenge and the official music video together and everything like that. And it was like so many men come at them as if like they want to claim ownership of them, or they have you know what I'm saying, or the backlash that comes from rejection and things like that. And I be feeling bad for some of these cosplayers because it's like, why do you have to be insulted in such a way, or why do you have to be, you know what I'm saying, like dudes are either shaming them because they can't get with them, or insulting them, or approaching them with just disrespect up front, like it's just out the gate disrespectful and stuff like that. And like it was really tough with a couple of cosplayers because although they liked the song, they didn't get where I was coming from at the beginning of it. So I had to really like sit down and explain to them like, nah, this ain't about having ownership of you or anything like that. It's really just trying to shed some light on the fact of how awesome and talented you are and like the versatility you bring to it. And I got a lot of them that come around that normally wouldn't even do or have anything to do with the Cosplay Angel Challenge because of how genuine the actual mission is. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm really, really thankful for that.
Now, all of those dudes, y'all punk ass bitches. Y'all are y'all are emotional, sensitive ass niggas. Like,
Man,
I'm
yep.
sorry. Like you're machi. Like you know that thing. You're so macho that that you're weak. Like you're so. I'm so. I'll knock every nigga. Why?
Exactly.
Like if the dudes who can do that don't really need to say it. Like you know, or even if they like that's just weak ass energy to me. I'm just like y'all, like you're more bitchy than the girls that you're calling bitches. Actually,
Right.
like like you're not threatening to nobody, my nigga. Like I'm sorry. She said no. Get over it. We've all been rejected. Go cry by yourself, and you've got the internet. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
and they,
that.
they really they really like, you know what I'm saying, making it hard out for genuine people that's actually trying to get to know maybe some of these women, or you know what I'm saying, beyond what they see online and things like that. And it's like some dudes don't even know how to approach them now, because now they feel like, you know what I'm saying, like I shouldn't even talk to her. She gonna shoot me down just because she think I'm like the last 25 dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So um like dudes just gotta chill, man. And like if a girl like you, you'll know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be that hard. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, I don't trust guys like that. I really don't. Like, she was beautiful until she rejected you. Now she's ugly. Nigga,
yeah,
please.
that's why. That's why.
Nigga,
That's why.
nigga, please.
That's why.
Anyway. Anyway, yeah. So everybody should go check that out. At least it's on SoundCloud for those of us that can't afford it yet. But if I do implore you, if you got some money, go buy like the digital copy or the physical copy. You get a lot of cool stuff with it. I really love that symbol of yours with the brain and everything. That is really cool.
Yeah.
And I have a question. I really have a
Okay.
question. Are you a Nappa fan? Because that Saiyan armor looks like Nappa's armor. So I'm just trying to find out if.
So my Saiyan armor was modeled after Cell Saga Vegeta armor, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so you remember when Bulma brought their armor to the lookout, and it had the straps instead. Now you gotta remember, Nappa's armor had the shoulder pads.
Oh, okay. 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 I
Yeah,
was looking at
Nappa's
the
armor
color
had the shoulder
scheme.
pads.
I was looking at
Yeah,
the color
so
scheme.
yeah, so oh yeah, like the color scheme, yeah, it was only just to really match the symbol. Um, yeah, but it was modeled after Cell Saga Vegeta armor.
Oh, okay. So you a Vegeta man.
I'm a Goku guy, but
Oh, okay.
I have a friend in Texas that runs a company called Cosplay Corp, and what he does is he makes life size real Saiyan armor for, you know, Dragon Ball fans, and I had been a fan of his for years and just couldn't really get his attention. Plus, the armors are kind of expensive. So what happened? What happened to get my armor? Basically, Ultra Instinct happened. So I went on his page one day and I saw that he was replying back to, you know, people that was commenting about armor and stuff. So I had sent the email to him years ago and never got a reply. So I was like, well, now is as good a time as any to try to reach out. So I, you know, I commented on one of his posts while he was commenting, and he DMs me immediately. And I'm like, yo, man, I've been trying to get an armor for years. Like, how much they going for? X, Y, and Z. And like, it took him a little minute to respond, but once he did, he was like, "Hey, I just listened to your song," and I was like, "What song?" And he was like, "I was listening to Ultra Instinct. This shit's fucking amazing, and this is that." So I was like, "Yo, thank you. I'm glad you took the time to listen." So he was like, "Maybe you could make me a song or something." And so I was like, "So wait a minute. You mean like we could work something out to the point where if I make you music, you'll make me an armor?" And that's basically like what happened. So
That is
I
dope.
made the yeah, so I made the theme song for his company. It's on my SoundCloud. It's called More Powerful. Um, and in return, he, you know what I'm saying, he made my Saiyan armor. We stayed in touch. We still stay in touch to this day. And I was able to go to KamehamehaCon, which is like the biggest Dragon Ball convention in the country. So I went to KamehamehaCon 2, met him in person, got my armor in person, got to wear it at the convention. And what was really cool is he made a life-size model of a Saiyan pod. And you can sit inside the Saiyan pod, the door comes down, all that makes all the noises. But what's really dope was he made the theme song playable inside the Saiyan pod. So when you sit, yeah, so when you sit in the
Ah.
Saiyan pod, you get to hear my music. It was pretty dope, man. It's one of the best experiences of my life, of my career.
Ah, man. Dragon Ball Z. Wow. Man,
Yeah,
that's
man.
my favorite. It's my favorite anime. Like, I know a lot of people say it's got issues, and I get it, but you know, it's still my favorite to this day. Like, second
Oh yeah, I'm a
closest
ride or die with
Naruto.
Dragon Ball.
Second closest Naruto, but Dragon Ball Z, geez, that just I used to wake up every morning, like to the point where me and my cousin used to actually try and like fight each other and throw
Oh
kamehamehas.
yeah, oh yeah. No, all my friends. We used to be in the front yard, or we used to be outside at recess going at it, trying to do the fast
Oh
punches
my
on there. Oh
gosh.
yeah, it was
Oh my
cool,
gosh.
bro.
You're trying to do that whole
Oh yeah, we was going at it, bro. Like it was ridiculous. Like we used to have heated debates and arguments to the point where like if one of our characters, something bad happened to one of our characters, we would call each other at the end of the episode and be like, let's chill, you know what I'm saying? So of course I was Goku and shit, right? So one of the
Yeah.
most embarrassing moments during that was the episode where Ginyu took Goku's body.
Oh
Man, they called me that day, and they clowned me for like however long it took Goku to get his body back. I was getting clowned every day. It was bad.
I was a Gohan man, so imagine the clowning that happened after the Cell Saga. Oh, I was like, this your man's? This your man's? I was like, he's still cool. He still got it.
Right.
Kind of, so he still got it. And then Ultimate Gohan happens, and I was like, yeah, son, what?
Right.
And
Yeah,
then 3 episodes later, he gets eaten. And I was like, God damn it.
Right. Imagine, I still get calls. Like Goku keep giving Senzu beans to enemies. I still get calls every day. I still get calls every day. Like, what's up with your mans? Like,
man. But I mean, like for me, like a lot of people look at Goku as like the worst anime. Well, not the worst. I mean, there's Ging from Hunter x Hunter. Like nobody beats that dude in terms of being a dad.
That dude is awful.
No, actually, the dad in Baki might be worse than him. Now, actually, let me say the dad in Baki, the grappler, might be worse. Yeah,
his dad trash.
Yeah. like Ging ain't try to kill Gon. Like Ging ain't try to Ging ain't kill Gon's mom in front of him or whatever. That dad is horrible. You know, it's like you should have never had kids at all.
Just about every anime protagonist dad is like trash. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, like for real, like Goku trash. Naruto got his trash moments for showing up with the shadow clones instead of actually being at dinner. That's why Boruto hates this dude guts, man. Like that dude is never there.
Nah, but Boruto need to also chill though. At least he know what he look like, and he's there, and you know he can go see him. It's not like the fourth Hokage who got bodied before Naruto even knew he existed. Like Naruto is all right. It's Sasuke tried to kill his daughter, so I mean, if we're gonna talk about
Sasuke is trash too. These dudes are the worst dads ever, man. I was like, damn, man, who got good dads? Nobody. Like nobody.
Yeah, no, because every good dad like dies. Like that's the thing. Like if you're a good dad, you are destined to die and never come back.
If you're a good dad, you're only a dad to like the number 2 of the show, or like good dads is reserved for the sidekick.
Yeah. Like Shikai was a really good dad to Shikamaru. But yeah, no, he didn't get no screen time. That's actually like if you're the main character, the only thing you get is a sensei who's eventually going to get bodied as well.
Fact. Except for Master Roshi, my man's still hanging around.
Yeah, hey, Master Roshi.
Because you gotta remember, King Kai got bodied thanks to Goku. And he still forgot to wish him back. And they done had the Dragon Ball 17 times. Like every other month they got all the Dragon Balls and he forget King Kai.
Yeah, but I mean, is death really a thing in Dragon Ball Z like that? People just waltz in and out of that. Like, people waltz in and out of death like it's a holiday. Like everybody's like, oh damn, I'm dead. It's like other animes, it's a whole dramatic, no, he's died. Dragon Ball Z is like, damn it. It's missed it.
We'll bring him back Tuesday. I
think that's why like the Future Saga was like so depressing and so interesting, I guess. Except like also like that's the thing with Dragon Ball Z, sometimes they forget like rules and stuff. Like Gohan doesn't have his power-ups anymore in the Future Saga, and I'm just like, that don't make no sense. Like Future Gohan should have bodied those 2 androids. Like he should not just be Super Saiyan.
That's what I'm thinking though, because like you gotta think, like my man's was the first one to go Super Saiyan 2 at the age of 11, right?
Yeah.
So him being old enough to train Trunks, like as a grown man, he should have been the most powerful thing on the planet. to the point where the androids just like should have been turned to dust like ASAP.
Yeah, like, but I mean, let's not. I mean, if we're gonna go down that route, Dragon Ball Super just ruins everything.
Yeah, the
Like
power
what?
scaling was all over
Oh
the
my
place.
god! Like when Super Saiyan whatever that is can match Super Saiyan God. What are we talking about now? What like Kefla and them can match Goku? Really? Is that what we're doing? And then
Yeah, man.
tingly backs and then
Let's not do the tingly. Yeah, let's not even talk
tingly.
about it, bro.
Oh
Like,
my god!
see,
And
the
then
problem is like they don't know really know where to go with it because like, well, one, I think the problem that Super had too was the fact that it wasn't following a manga. Like the manga was happening at the same time, and Toyotaro was taking the manga in a different direction than the anime went. So Toei was doing some other shit, and Toyotaro was doing some other shit. And it's like Akira Toriyama was like, "But I told y'all to do this," and they don't care. So it's like it was all over the place, bro. Like the fact that now if Super comes back, or I know heard it is, if Super comes back, they now have the moral arc to base the anime off of now. Like you know what I'm saying? So it can go back to the way shit used to be. And I think
ah,
that was the problem with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball took too many. It was like the Dragon Room where they come up with all the ideas for Dragon Ball anyway. Got a bunch of people in it that don't include Akira Toriyama. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they just winging it. Like, oh, this would be cool. Let's make a chick look like Broly, even though we're gonna actually bring Broly back.
yeah,
Like, you know
man.
what I'm saying?
And like I know I'm gonna get flamed for this. I wasn't a fan of the Broly movie personally.
Really?
I know I wasn't. I wasn't because the thing that makes me mad is that they just training is useless. Training is just it's useless. What are Goku and Vegeta doing anymore? This is Pilates now. This is yoga. This is them. They just the old people at the beach trying to keep fit. Because everybody that comes out bodies these dudes and they have power ups from nowhere. Like Broly's power up comes from where? Like I always said this, the Saiyans should have just thrown Broly at Frieza when Frieza was blowing up the planet because Broly would have tanked that explosion and he would have killed Frieza in one shot because he was basically a Super Saiyan 4 when he was a baby or whatever it was. He would have killed Frieza
They could,
as a
yeah,
baby.
they could have. They could have though. Like, soon as the death beam was about to blow the planet Vegeta up, all they had to do was throw baby Broly at it. It would have never existed.
It would like the planet would still be there and it would have been done. But no.
So in the movie's defense, though, like compared to the original Broly run, right? Because once again, Broly wasn't even a Akira Toriyama creation. That was some more Toei shit. So, and then they they modeled the nigga after Super Trunks in the first place.
Yeah.
So it was like he had no character. Like he really had no character. It was just I'm mad because this dude Goku was crying. So now I want to just be a sadistic serial killer and blow up people and whatever. And it's like Goku's my trigger. And you know what I'm saying? Like it just I hated that. So the fact that like this version of Broly like grew up like a Neanderthal and like literally like you know what I'm saying pretty much survived on his own, training with his father after a while, and he still has some sort of like humanity to him, and just went berserk because the only family he knew got murdered in front of him. Even though like that shit with Frieza was fucking hilarious, bro. Like, hey, Broly, look, somebody killed my dad. Like that was too funny.
No, I mean, yeah, I get that aspect and whatever, and but I do
That's
prefer
the reason why I
Broly.
like it.
Yeah, I do prefer Broly as a villain, and I think they just messed up on the motivation. They should have switched it to Vegeta. If they just switched it to
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta, Broly would have been one of the greatest villains in Dragon Ball Z. Like
Right.
because his whole dad trying to kill them and Paragus and the family and everything,
Right.
Broly would have had
It
a
makes more
legit.
sense.
Yeah,
It
it would
makes
have.
way more sense.
But yeah, I just the power scaling one and like just the level of it. The fact that it took both Goku and Vegeta to beat Broly to me that bothered me a lot. I was like, y'all had
Oh,
to hit a fusion on two
Right.
Saiyans who have been training, who have had insurmountable amounts of battle experience. And this dude who was just on a planet with some fauna and his old ass daddy who couldn't even go Super Saiyan in the beginning of the movie is now
Right.
bodying both of you to the point where y'all have to hit the fusion to beat one Saiyan. I was like, come on. I was just like, so there's no hope for any of the other characters. That means there's just no hope. Like
Oh
Krillin,
yeah,
there's no
no,
hope. Piccolo, there's no hope.
nah. That's why Dragon Ball turned into the Saiyan show, because you gotta understand, like, after a while, none of the human characters on the show will ever be able to like keep up. They're gonna get bodied every time.
Oh man, man. But I
Like
was
I like
arguing.
grounded.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I like grounded Dragon Ball because like all the characters at a point mattered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how we go from Piccolo being one of the strongest characters to exist on the show, even with his power ups and fusions with Nail and Kami and everything like that. He's supposed to be like the ultimate, like, you know what I'm saying? And then now he's like a babysitter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, bro,
Now
like
he's teaching
don't do
people
that
the
to
fusion
Piccolo.
dance. Oh man. And Piccolo,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
and Piccolo, the only nigga in the show. Like, come on, we need more black people in the show.
Right. They're gonna give us Oob eventually, I guess.
Ah man, yeah. I also like Oob, man. Like that's the thing with Dragon Ball and like it goes through so many incarnations. But I preferred GT to Super because at least GT had interesting ideas. Like I love the idea of Super Saiyan 4, like the idea of the
Yeah, that was
Ozaru
dope.
skin and all of that. I mean, of course, changing Goku back to a kid, that was dumb, and
Yeah,
like
that was a
getting
mistake.
rid of most of the cast, that was dumb. Like yeah, it's almost just like Akira, get your boy, please. Akira Toriyama,
Yeah, but
get your
yeah, that
property, boy.
again, that's the shit. What happens, man, when you give like other people your baby, they
Yeah,
get
man.
to raise them how they want to raise them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
This is
and you
child
doing that.
abuse. This is child
Yeah,
abuse.
and
Like,
you doing that. It's
I mean,
crazy.
even when it got to the live action Dragon Ball, oh my god, oh my
So
god.
none of us ever mentioned. That's like saying like you can't say Voldemort's name in the name of Dragon Ball Z. You just can't.
And I watched that entire thing, and I was like 11 years old, so like everything should be good, but I was like, this is trash. What is this?
I never made it through the whole movie. I couldn't tell you how it ended. Like even back then, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing this."
There's a credit stinger where Piccolo comes back. I was like, y'all ain't getting the second movie. I don't know why y'all even try.
Wait a minute, they left it open ended for a sequel?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea. I literally cut that joint off like halfway through. Like when they had Chow Yun Fat playing Master Roshi, I was just like, "Yeah, I'm done."
That's what took you out when the hand farts came through for me. CGI when they were doing airbending. I was like, what the hell? Y'all not even in the right goddamn property.
Or in fact, like Piccolo ain't had no antlers. He looked like Jim Carrey wearing a mask. I was done.
Smoking.
I was done.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to ask you though, like we got yeah, I totally skipped over some other questions. I wanted to ask you about your influences as an MC because I saw you got a comment from Crooked Eye, and I was like, oh, is it King Crooked now? I don't know. He's kind of going through this Puffy thing where Puffy had like 6, 7 names. I was like, God damn it, why y'all keep
Yeah,
changing y'all
actually,
names?
man, I've been fortunate enough to meet Crook a few times
Oh no way.
and get the, you know what I'm saying, to get the cosign from him. Like he was telling other people that I was dope. Like it was super dope. And then he introduced me to Bizarre from D12 that same night. Like it was a bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, man, shout out to Ken Crooked, man. Like we got to a point where, like, you know what I'm saying, he gave me his personal number to be like, yo, I want to keep up with everything you're doing, like, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And over the time, like, we've lost touch, and I haven't been able to talk to him closely like that in quite some time. But he does check in from time to time. He still follows me online and stuff like that. So that's been really cool because, you know, Crooked is one of the best spitters out here.
So I'm talking to a celebrity then. That's wow.
Nah, not yet. Not little of me, man. You know. But nah, like it's been dope. But I have to credit a lot of stuff to Eminem's music. I've been listening to M since I was 8 years old. So
how did that happen?
older cousins, man, older cousins. Yes, my older cousin Dante and my older cousin Josh, man. Like
Can't
they
imagine
both.
like an 80-year-old. You don't what we're shady.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about word for word. I could word for word everything. And like by the age of 9, I could word for word everything M did. But yeah, so I've been listening to M that long. So because of the whole bully background and all the pent up anger and frustration and stuff I had, and then my parental, situation with mom and dad being split, stuff like that, I was able to relate to M's music a way that they wouldn't, like most black kids in from my city wouldn't be able to relate the same way, but I did, like, you know what I'm saying? So I clung to his music because I was so angry all the time, and like that rage to hear somebody say a lot of the stuff that I wish I could have said out loud but couldn't. That was my thing. And then of course, Lupe came out. Lupe was one of the only rappers really rapping about anime like that to that degree. You know what I'm saying? Like Lou is God tier
Oh
lyricist, man.
my gosh,
So
man. You
it's
already named
like,
two of my favorites, bro. Yo.
yeah. So like, so it was Lupe was like making it cool to rap about anime and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of course Wu-Tang and everybody existed prior to that, with the kung fu influence and stuff like. But Lou was actually talking about Street Fighter and manga and Akira and like all types of stuff that, what I'm saying, that Lou would do. And then another Cleveland native, Kid Cudi, he blew up, and Cudi made it cool to not have to be tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be tough. You could be weird, and it's okay because there are people that will still listen to you anyway. So it's like you got this angry, weird little kid in me, like, oh, so all right, let's do it this way then. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, if you take just those three, if you take those three artists and wrap them up, you can somehow pinpoint a lot of that influence in all of my music because they kind of paved the way. And then, like nobody does words like M does words. So that has been my staple. So from the time that I started picking up a pen to write to today is like, okay, I'm still bodying it. I got a way to go. All right, cool. Let me keep writing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's
M
how it
taught
goes.
me how to freestyle. Like the way he raps, that's how I can go off the top of the dome because I have a lot of his patterns like swimming around in my head. That's why
Yeah.
when people talk that trash of, oh, M is overrated, where it's like, do you know what he did? Like, do you not understand? Like, okay, I know we can talk about white boy, whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay, fine. But if we're talking about purely being an MC, purely pen, paper, microphone, mic skills, the stuff that he's been able to do, it's freaking ridiculous. Like
Exactly.
those syllables, that syllable scheme usage and the switching of flows or whatever. Like I remember when Chloroseptic remix dropped after his album didn't do so well. And I
Right.
was just like, yeah, man, he was trying to be conscious for y'all, but apparently y'all want him to be mad because that's the only time we like Eminem is when he's angry. So he came out angry and he was like, I'm gonna remind all of y'all why I'm a king, I'm a god, I'm a rap god at this, man. Yeah, so M is insane. And then Lupe Fiasco, Lupe make you feel like you in school though. That's like that's why a lot of people can't get into Lupe because they feel like I'm in an exam, bro. Like I'm looking up references upon
But I
digging
love
into
that
this.
though
No, I love doing
because
that.
like after people were saying like Lou fell off or whatever, and then he dropped Mural, I was like, this is why this man is fantastic. And I was able to like see Lou live before coronavirus and
Oh
all
man,
the world
lucky.
down. So like to see him, and this was around the time Tattoo on Youth came out. So to see him do Mural live, and then like the live version is way different than it is on the album because he actually like does this skit with clips from the Akira anime movie prior to the song dropping and shit. And then when you hear the beat come in and he got like this little screen that's up, it was an experience, bro. And to see that and just to see how many people came to see Lupe, like at that time, I was like, all right, that still gives me hope that like what I'm doing can bring this many people to a place. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Big shout out to Lou for that, man.
Yeah, man. Jeez, that mural was, when I heard it, I was just in my seat, like, what are you doing to me, bro? Why? Like, and I hate that thing of falling off. I hate that thing of fall. Like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Yeah, it's like, first off, y'all don't really know what y'all talking about in terms of falling off or whatever.
Right.
Because for me, this music stuff that I'm doing, or this music stuff that we do, this art stuff that we do, man, it's not about money like that. Like, money's cool, and I
Right.
want to sustain my lifestyle. That's it. But I mean, like everybody, you need to be Drake, or you need to be like having the hottest single. Nah, bruh. Like you have 1,000 people paying for all of your shows and stuff. You can eat off of this forever. So can we just kill that falling off argument?
Right.
Like
And that's why, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, really proud of Royce the 5'9" right now because,
Royce is
like,
another
in my
dude.
opinion, like, in my opinion, like, Royce had the best hip hop album of 2020. Like, the Allegory was
Allegory
crazy.
was nuts, man. I don't age. I don't age. Jeez, the
Man,
way that beat goes in, dude, man, father was a, oh man,
right.
yes, yeah, dude,
The Allegory was wild. But the
Allegory was
funny thing
insane.
is, I've um I've interacted with 3 out of the 4 Slaughterhouse members. Like I opened up for Royce. I've actually politicked with Crook, and I've opened up for Joel Ortiz. The only person I haven't met or made any connection with is Joe Budden yet. And that's coming. Cause watch, I'm gonna find a way to get in a room with Joe one of these days. Watch.
Well, I mean, he's retired now, so and I don't know,
And
Joe's a lot.
just to link with him. It's like collecting the Infinity Stones. You
Ah.
know, whether he using his powers or not, I still need that interaction.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, Joe is a lot though. Joe, sometimes all over the place.
Yeah, man. I don't care if it's just high and by.
Ah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of
Like,
Infinity Stones, let's talk comic books a little bit because I'm looking at the shirt and you
okay.
got the Batman universe on there. You even
Oh yeah,
got
you know it. I
yeah.
got Batman tatted on my arm.
Oh, okay. So he's your guy. He's your guy.
That's my guy. Him and Spider-Man have always been my guys.
Like I even see you got like the Silver Age where you had the rainbow costume going on.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
Silver Age was a different time in comic books, man. That's when
Woo.
Superman was blowing away planets with his breath and man. All right, so we got to talk top 5, man. I always do this with all of my guests, especially if you're into comic
Right.
books. We got to talk top 5 superheroes DC, top 5 superheroes Marvel, and then we got to talk
Okay.
cartoons.
All right. Let me see. Top 5. Let's go top 5 DC. Just like knock that out real quick. Batman's at my top, always has been. Um Who would I put in my number 2? This is a good one. Cause I really don't give a shit about a lot of
The disrespect. Oh my gosh.
No, but all right, so I'm not gonna say like DC ain't been shitting on you know what I'm saying, ain't been shitting on Marvel for quite some time in the comic book and the cartoon department. That DC been slam dunking it. I got this new infatuation with the Batman Who Laughs. That is my new obsession.
Okay.
I love that in the whole Dark Knight series and just the different versions of the Dark Knight.
Okay.
I've been really diving into that a lot lately. Of course, like Joker's my favorite villain, but to have a Batman that is the Joker, like, you know what I'm saying, in that respect, is crazy. Because my dude took over the dark multiverse and then came to the actual multiverse and was like, yeah, I'm about to wreck shop here too. Like that's wild though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
No,
like, yeah. So
it's a
heavily
really good
into that.
story. It's
Sometimes,
been a really great story.
yeah. So let me see. Who can I put in there besides Bats? I've always been like, I don't want to say I've been anti-Superman because I'm not anti-Superman. but I haven't really, I haven't really cared for like Superman or like that. Even though his
Yeah.
creators come from my city, so I will give him that. You know what I'm saying? So Cleveland, Ohio, stand up for creating Superman. But
If it's
I'll just
just
go through my.
bats and all of that stuff, that's cool. You don't have to wreck your brain so much. If you ain't got nothing,
Yeah,
you ain't
because
got
I'm
nothing,
thinking like,
man. John
yeah,
Stewart,
it's like I
though?
really don't care. I
John
really
Stewart,
don't care.
John Stewart,
Huh?
John Stewart, Green Lantern, John Stewart.
I put him over Hal Jordan any day.
We'll take it.
I put
Ah,
I put him over there any day. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. They brought a lot of my guys from different comic houses under the DC. So you know, like Static Shock, he was one of my favorites. So big shout out to Static.
yeah, man.
So he'll definitely be in my top DC characters. Um, yeah, man. I'm gonna leave it short like that because
All right,
I would
yeah.
end up I would end up doing I would end up grabbing like by default Justice League characters, and I feel like that's why.
All right. Do you have a top five Marvel? Is Marvel easier for you?
Marvel probably is a lot easier because of course we got Spider-Man has always been my guy. I love Deadpool. I love Wolverine. Um, Icon is one of my favorites because dude's just OP. And one of my obscure favorites is Legion.
Mm.
Professor X's son. He's one of my favorites. I love because I love like psychological thrillers and characters that have these multiple personalities. You got to figure out what's real, what's not, stuff like that or whatever. So I like a lot of those type of storylines. And because you know Deadpool suffered from that same shit over time. You know what I'm saying? Over that too.
But
Back
those,
to DC though.
yeah, go
Back
ahead.
to DC though. Deathstroke. I forgot. I can't forget Deathstroke.
Okay.
Can't forget Deathstroke.
Okay.
Um, which you know what I'm saying, Deadpool made me think of Deathstroke because of the
Yeah, Slade,
correlation.
Wade,
So,
all of that stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So it made me go back and think like, oh yeah, that is my guy. But yeah, so Deadpool, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Icon, who else? Um, who else do I like, man? I like Magneto a lot. Hmm. It's way too many characters, man. It's way too many
All
characters.
right, we can stick to that. There's one thing I want to ask you about though. As a black person in 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 life and in general,
Right.
like because I don't know why I started that sentence that way. It never ends well. As a black person, but as a black person, sometimes like I look at like the mutants or whatever, and their political story stuff, and I'm not really that impressed because I don't feel like it's the same. Like sometimes I feel like the X-Men comics be forcing that stuff. Like they tried to equate the word mutie to the N-word. Like I was just like,
Right.
it's not the same thing. So like as a fan of that material, what do you think when they go in that aspect with those characters? Do you like it? Do you think like it's a little heavy-handed? Because personally, I think it's a bit much. I don't think they
Well,
doing it
in the
proper justice, in my opinion.
yeah, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it was supposed to be like an allegory for civil rights movement and stuff like that in the first place. So when you look at their history versus like just our human history, um, it's a cool enough comparison. It's safe because it could get much, you know what I'm saying? It can get much more, you know what I'm saying, off the rails. So I feel like it's a safe parallel to have to where it ain't just got people with pitchforks outside of the Marvel office. You know what I'm saying? So, so I mean, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It don't really bother me much. But in that regard, I would much rather them do um a series or invent characters that come from our struggles specifically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope that, all right, we can say we identify with the mutants because we're different. We've been ostracized by the country. There's a lot of racism and whatever. That's cool. But why not do a series where there are actual black people going through racism, because it's much easier. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just it's much more relatable.
And like my thing is this also, like Scott and them can just put on a different costume and call it a
Yeah,
day. Like he can
yeah,
just wear a different set of glasses. You know,
yeah,
Wolverine can
yeah.
just pop the claws away. It's not the same thing. You don't get to change this.
Yeah, nah, right.
This
Yeah,
ain't
because it's
just
like we can't change this, bro. Like,
you don't, this ain't just a wipe. This ain't just like, you know, makeup. You know, this is what
right.
you are. So like for me, that's why. And then
Yeah,
people will be like, Magneto was like Malcolm X. I'm like, he is nowhere near. They are not the same at all. Like they like have a small, like I made a video about this talking about how
yeah,
Magneto and Malcolm X are two separate personalities, because it makes Malcolm
right,
X look like he's an extremist. It makes Malcolm X look
right,
like he was prepared to blow up every white person's house. And that was not Malcolm X and at all. So like for
right,
me, I don't really appreciate those kind of story devices.
right.
But it was cool to know that you, I think he's a good villain. Don't get me wrong. I know people are
Oh
going to
yeah,
send me
right,
letters because, you know, the nerd community is nuts. I'm gonna come find you. You're gonna have to take a plane ticket, sir.
right.
But yeah, I personally, for me, I'm just like, yeah, y'all don't need all of that personally.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said, it's cool to know that, you know, Stan Lee wanted to have a message without, you know, but and do it in a safe enough medium to where the comics could be sold. Because, you know, like they put us, if he was to put us in like plain view in comics at that time, like, I mean, of course we had like Black Panther, there was Luke Cage, there was a lot of like, you know, characters out, you know what I'm saying, to represent us in small regard. But if he was to like take the X-Men comics and made it about us, that shit wouldn't have sold a dime.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
get
wouldn't
it.
have.
Yeah, I get it. You know, but I'm just
You
like,
know what I'm
y'all
saying?
don't
So it's
have the
like,
same
I,
excuse now.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's like
right.
now, y'all like this is 2020. We still doing the civil rights movement for the X-Men. Like I just saw a comic recently now, and that's the thing that be making me mad. I'm like, y'all got blue people, y'all got purple people, y'all got pink people, y'all got people with one eyeball. We can't get one black person in there. All we
Right.
got is Storm. All we got is
Outside
Storm.
of Bishop of Storm.
Oh yeah, it's like two. It's like two. So y'all gotta have a whole civil rights struggle with two people, two black people,
Right.
and they be doing it
Right.
to other minorities as well. Like there's this character I love, Warpath. Warpath was one of my favorite X-Men ever,
Okay.
and he just disappears into the sunset because he has found his peace. It's like, get your ass back over here. What the hell? He was so cool, and he was like rocking with the X-Force, and he was rocking with like Wolverine and everything, and then he just
Okay.
disappears and he's never seen again. And he was one of the coolest. He was a Native American character, which was really cool.
That's dope.
Shouts out to fake Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying, because they weren't given any thanks on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying.
At all. Right.
So
At all. It's
yeah,
not even, yeah.
I just like, you can't shove that message in my face and then not have like black and colored and
Right.
brown, and you know what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with you.
Yeah, like that for me is a little bit whack. You know what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree with you.
yeah, but you know, DC is not better sometimes because they keep race changing every character. It's just like, god damn it. It's like Deadshot will now be black. Why? We have Bronze Tiger. If y'all need a black hitman, there he is. Why are we doing this? Like Black Spider been struggling. He been trying to say, I'm here and I'm dope. Now we don't want to hear from you. Black Deadshot though. And I'm just like, god damn it.
Right, yeah, man. It's still rough, man, when it comes to this whole racial issues
Yeah,
of
yeah.
just like representation. It's gonna be rough, man, until we start creating a lot more of our own characters.
And then Marvel's gonna want to come by and we're gonna be like, nah, y'all can piss off. All right, let me give you my
Right.
top five real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, let me exchange top fives real quick. So DC, I gotta go Batman, obviously, because Batman my guy. Batman been my guy for a long time. Then I gotta go Static. Then I gotta go Icon as well.
Okay.
Then I wanna go John Stewart, because John Stewart was also really dope for me as well. And then I've what's this? Who would be number five? Oh my gosh, why am I stuck? Number five. I'm gonna go with the Wally West for now. Not Wally West, Barry Allen, because Wally West is kind of
Okay.
Barry Allen anyway. Yeah, so that would be my
Yeah.
top five for
Nice.
DC. And then for Marvel, I've got to go Spider-Man, obviously, Black Panther. I got to do a Wolverine as well. Really like Wolverine. Nick Fury, you know, I do love me some Nick Fury, both versions of Nick Fury, I guess. And then Iron Man. Those would be my
Okay,
top five. Those would be my top five at the moment, right now.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love
It's
comic
solid,
books, man. I love
solid
comic books,
list.
man. Love been reading since I was
Solid
8,
list.
man. Yeah. But it might change tomorrow, you know? Like I think the only three spots at top three spots don't change, but other than that, they might change tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, when I get back into like actually reading comics, because it's been a while. I peer in every so often if I see like some new cover variants that I think look cool, then I'll pick it up to, what I'm saying, to look at it, read it or whatever. But that's like few and far in between with how busy I am these days.
Yeah.
Um, which is weird because like I keep up with more anime related stuff only because of the terrain that I travel now musically and stuff like that or whatever. So it's like, although I love watching anime, it's also um, a part of the job now too
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah. I
stay up
totally
on
get it.
certain. You know what
I
I'm saying?
t-
Is you got to stay up
yeah.
on current anime or what the kids are watching these days, just to, what I'm saying, stay current and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then I do be getting really good ideas for rhymes when I watch, what I'm saying, anime and stuff like that. Or I hear some music I want to sample and things like that. So it's been more advantageous to be, what I'm saying, an avid anime watcher now. I actually want to get into reading some manga too though, because I hate waiting on
Me
the next
too.
season of an
Me
anime.
too. Me too. I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
I hate it.
I'm always just reading the manga, and people are like, "But why do you read the manga and watch the anime?" It's like, man, shut up.
Like I gotta start reading the manga because it's like anime will either end and take 2 years to give you season two or some shit, or it get
Or
canceled but the
canceled.
manga's still going. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like you fall in love with some of these characters, you want to know what happened, go read the manga. You know what I'm saying? So I probably like I just subscribe to the Shonen Jump app, and you get to read like 100 free chapters every month, and then it'll reset or something like that or whatever. And I know I'm not gonna get through 100 chapters in a month, but I can at least, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
read to my heart's content. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That's where
yeah.
I'm at with that
Nah,
currently.
I love. But I mean, I try to pay attention to all of it because this channel that we're on, that is going to be
Yeah.
broadcasted on, I try to cover anime topics. I try to cover comic book topics and all of that stuff
Right,
because
right,
I love doing all of that stuff anyway. But I do see that thing of where you're so busy that you sometimes just end up picking a lane by default, not because you don't love the other thing, but simply because
right.
this is just where you're traveling right now, man.
Yeah.
We have done about an hour and 10 minutes. It has been so much fun talking to you, sir, man.
I'm
Thank you for
glad, man.
showing
Yeah, it
up,
took us a
man.
while
Thank
to
you for
get here,
showing up,
man.
man. Thank you for showing up. Animated is
Love
streaming right now on all platforms,
it.
Meisterville. Please go check it out, especially if you're into anime. The samples in there are just nuts. And I just got to say, man, that One Piece sample was fire.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Now we need you
Thank
to
you.
sample some Den Den Mushi, bro. We just need to sample that Den Den Mushi call, bro.
Actually, bro, look, if you got some of your favorite anime soundtracks or anything of that nature, feel free to DM me, suggestions. I'll check out, what I'm saying, I'll check out these sample suggestions. And if what I'm saying, if the mood hit, man, I'll send it to my producers, have it chopped up, and we'll, make an official thing about it.
All right, all right. Now I got some ideas. I got some ideas. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
try and maybe I'll try push a verse. Maybe I'll try push a verse space. It can be 8 bars, bro. I could even just be like, "Yo, my name is," and I'm out. Is there any last words you want to leave Meisterville with before we wrap up this call, sir?
Man, first and foremost, I always got to say thank you for having me on the platform, man. You didn't have to do it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm appreciative the fact that, we bridging the gap from the US to Africa, South Africa, if I'm mistaken, right?
Yeah, South Africa. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's really huge in itself. Like the fact that somebody would call themselves a fan of me from a different continent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you grow up, you know what I'm saying, you hear about, people being worldwide known and all this other stuff. You think it's just a pipe dream, you know what I'm saying? And then you meet somebody like awesome like you. So it's like I'm grateful, man. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Just for staying in touch, for reaching out, for showing love online, things like that. And to anybody watching this video, chase your dreams, believe in yourself. Do not give up. Do not let no be your final answer. And just, be an individual, man. Don't have to be a part of the crowd. You don't have to be a part of the in crowd. Make your own in crowd, make the out crowd, you know what I'm saying? Do that, you know what I'm saying? Be an individual, be you, be good to everybody, and that good will come back to you, man. So I had, what I'm saying, that's what I would love to say in closing.
And thank you for showing up, man. You didn't have to at all. Like I always say, I expect people to say no most of the time. So when everybody shows up, I'm eternally grateful. Like I don't expect a damn thing from anybody, man. So whenever you guys give me your time, it's just like, yo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. And with that being said, remember to check out all of Crazy8 the Great's links. They're going to be in the description, and his social medias are going to be underneath them, so you don't have any excuses, Meisterville. You got to go check my boy out. And you all in other videos and other content, because Meister Man and Mr. Crazy8 the Great have got to be out. Okay? Peace.
Peace.